Yeah. So obviously, quarterbacks. Is this a nice problem to have, or is this frustrating? To have to choose between a guy. What's your assessment of this?
No, we're just gonna let them compete. You know what I mean? I don't think it's frustrating or either way. We'll see how it plays out the first day, and we got a good plan on how they're competing and how we're get it in, and how they're how we're evaluating them, and let them play it out.
What are you looking to see the first week? Let's say.
What am I looking to see? Something to take control, take charge, know what they're doing, execute, have other guys follow them. That's a big thing for us.
Coach, obviously I'm sure you preach maturity every day to these guys, but you see them use lack of maturity and judgment. How does that disappoint you when that's what you guys preach each and every day to the guys?
Oh, that's it everywhere across the country, right? I mean, we're talking about kids that are going up to be mentors. We're always preaching to be the right thing.
And speaking of that, we always talk about the players being mature. How do you feel like you've matured, as an offensive coordinator on this team?
I feel like I've grown a little gray whiskers here and there. So, it feels good.
How do you split up the one reps for the quarterbacks? Does everybody get a chance each day, or do you do it in each practice?
Yeah, no. I think that we've come to the conclusion that we're going to designate a guy during the day and watch how he handles the team and how they progress and how they execute, knowing that they're the one guy that day. So.
Now the other ones will still take snaps, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. There'll be in other groups that sometimes the twos may be better than ones, depending on the day.
So we shouldn't make a big deal as to who's the one on a particular.
Not really, because sometimes we'll have a 2 unit that's pretty stacked, because of our personnel grouping. So everybody's competing, and they're all being evaluated, whether they're with the twos or they're with the ones. But with the ones comes the added pressure of here's your opportunity. Today's your day. Let me see what you do.
How do you think who goes with ones today?
Off-season training, that's one of the biggest things. How they train off-season training, different goals they've met.
How do you balance? You have a veteran guy. You have a veteran guy who's going to do certain things better than a younger guy. How do you balance the talent over the experience?
It's all based on execution. That's the balancing. That's the factor. That equation overrides over execution. So the guy that executes, potential is one thing, right? Actually going is the other. So execution is the key.
You talk to every guy, they all say the same thing. All the quarterbacks are smart. They make all the right throws. But when it comes to Jake, he's 23. He's obviously mature. And Kevin and the other guys that would be obviously the Blitz and Ryan. Does he play with that desperation when this is his last shot? You see that from the guy said, he texts right away. He's beating the books. You see that desperation in him?
You use the word desperation. That's what I heard about him before he got here. I heard that's his makeup, that's his DNA. So it's not really a desperation for him. That's kind of how he approaches the game. He's a worker. Sometimes you got to tell those guys, hey, we might need to take a break. If you're a little sore or something like that. Because he wants to go out there, he wants to throw, he wants to go out there, he wants to work. He's texting me and I'm saying, no, I can't be with you yet. Okay, so, but that's his deal. That's his makeup. Ball. He loves ball, and he wants to put in the extra time. It's not desperation.
But as a coach, you love that, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
James, as a coach, how do you help a Kevin Olsen grow off the field as well as on the field, and how hard is that?
That goes for everybody. We do all the different, not just Kevin, right? We do everything for everybody else. We help them out with regards to us being there for them, learning the playbook, and getting to the off-season program.
But it doesn't always work, does it? It doesn't. Can it be frustrating?
No, not really.
Can you talk about Kevin?
No, I can't. Yeah. No comment on Kevin.
Do you anticipate having, let's say Ryan's healthy and performing well, let's say Jake is performing well, and maybe Brad plays.
Come back again and say Ryan's performing well.
Let's say
I just saw lightning.
Yeah, no worries. Let's say all your quarterbacks are performing well. Let's say you got 3 guys that are all performing at the same level. Do you see like you might substitute guys during the season, or you feel like you might commit to one guy and then just roll with them until something happens?
That's exactly it.
The second?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So no, like, you know, some packages and things like that.
No, we can have packages, but it just would be ridiculous for me to go over that right now.
Sure. But,
Gotcha.
just with Steven being the guy for the last 2 years, it's like, you know, is this something new, do you think, this situation?
No, let's see how it plays out. You know, I mean, there can be multiple situations. There can be multiple ways of us handling it. Let's just see how it plays out. You know, if it comes to a point where we got to play 2 guys, you know, I'm sure we'll have packages to do that. But right now, let's see. Let's watch them. Let's see where they go.
How about the redshirt situation? I mean, I know you can't say for sure with Brad, particularly and Malik. I mean, like Stephen Morris, if he would have redshirted, you'd have him this year, right? I mean, what's your philosophy, pretty much, on redshirt?
Well, you know, if the redshirting deal has changed throughout the years, right? So if you're ready to come in and play, you play. If you can handle it, if you're the best guy, then not only do you deserve to play, well then your talent is at an elite level where you can help your team win. So you let them play. If you're not ready, then the red shirt is the right call, because you're allowing a player to get bigger, faster, stronger, and learn the game. So you can be ready and not ready for the 2 deals. You know, mentally, you may not be ready, and physically, you may not be ready. So, but the red shirt's to help the player. Not really, you know, you're not thinking to yourself, you know, you could be thinking to yourself, but from our perspective, with the quarterbacks that are here, you know, if they're not ready to play, then it's real red shirt. But if they're ready to play, and they're the better, either one is the best guy, and you got to play.
Jake Heaps has been really impressive with us as a talker and as a kid, but what was he impressive to you guys from on and off the field?
Off the field's been great. He's a sharp kid. He's a great kid. He's what you want when he walks in the building. You know, so he's been impressive.
How much do you sense the desperation that this is a one and done situation?
I hate to use the word desperation. You know, everything I've gathered, everything I've gathered from his makeup is what he is. So he's not doing anything out of the norm or what he's used to. He's being himself. So, which is somebody who's very motivated and wants to win. Does that make sense?
The execution, obviously, we'll see that in camp, but as far as his knowledge and ability to
he knows.
kind of repeat it back to you and speak the
very
language.
Very sharp.
You've seen him kind of pick that up, you know, over the time you had to work with him.
Very sharp.
You do kind of, if somebody's injured, I know this is one of those hypothetical things, but Ryan's injured, he comes back whenever. I guess you have to see what's going on then, and you have another quarterback, and he's been, you know, waiting. And
if Ryan's the best guy at that point, Ryan plays. Coming back, if he's coming back from camp, there's so many multiples there with his knee that you don't know. You don't know. One day, you don't know how guys are playing, and we look at it positive. I hate saying things negatively, but guy comes out and then he's sore the next day. He's out for 2 days till the swelling goes down. You don't know. Now he could come out here and be, amazing. And everything's fine. And then you let's play ball. Let's see what's going on. Who's the best guy at that point, right? Otherwise, there's so many ways.
Kind of like what I was getting at before, as far as your ability to evaluate quarterbacks kind of like on the fly, is this a challenge unlike you've ever had?
Yeah, it is challenging. I think I've been through it before, so we got a great plan on how we're evaluating these guys and how we're grading them daily, and got a great support group that's really analyzing everything in practice. So feel great about our plan.
With Stacy having a year under his belt, are there different ways that you're looking to use him? Maybe give him more in the offense?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. He understands the offense, so and he's a threat from anywhere on the field. So we need to use him as much as we can in different spots, so he doesn't line up just in one spot. Now, he's got a year underneath his belt, like you said, and he can go from everywhere, from the slot to the backfield, and motion in different spots.
How about Philip Dorsett?
Man, glad to have him back as well. He made some big plays before he got hurt last year. He never really It's huge. You know, catch every ball. Catch every ball. You know, and those guys are they've had a great summer with their conditioning, and they're really looking forward to showing that they can handle it. So I'm looking forward to watching it.
How much can Duke help the quarterbacks?
Duke, right? Yeah, big time. Ocho, yeah, he can help out a lot. Yeah, it's having him in the backfield will be big for those guys. You know, coming out of the backfield as well.
When you watch film from Jake, last year in Kansas, I mean, how much can you put maybe on him? How much maybe can you put on what's around him? I know this is tough to answer, but how do you assess that? What he went through last year in Kansas?
I thought it was a tough season for him. I was able. Obviously, he's here, so we liked what we saw. I thought he handled things very well. To his credit, he's very classy. Spoke very highly of his teammates. But they were behind the 8 ball a little bit with some injuries and stuff like that, and it was hard on them. But you couldn't tell.
Anything else for Coach Coley, guys?
I want to ask about the offensive line real quick. Right tackle, I guess, is Taylor Godbois still sort of the guy you're looking at there, or are there some guys pushing?
Yeah, Casey's had a great summer. So Casey's in the mix in that position. He's got himself at a good weight. He looks really good. So he'll be working. We have Sonny Adagu, who also our right tackle. But those guys are all moving around. We're working right and left, so you can see some of those guys playing left tackle as well. So I don't know. You guys allowed it?
Yeah,
practice?
Yeah. So we'll see how that.
Oh, I like it. No, I'm fine. I mean,
how close do you think
we're
you
watching
are?
you guys.
Yeah, we're slower than those guys. Right. How close are you guys to a 10 deep? I mean, I know that's the goal, but
how close are we to do what?
On the offensive line to a 10 deep? And starting camp, how far away are you?
Starting camp, I would think we're a couple freshmen away from them getting their feet wet in this deal. So about 2 guys. We'll see how these next few practices go. If we can get that done